Hello, televiewers. Good evening and welcome to Prime Hour on My Media Prime. This day we are going to be looking at the regional elections as they went throughout the national territory with focus on what took place in the southwest and northwest regions. We are going to be moving all the way to Kamer, to Wum, to Kumbu, and to Limbe, to Boya, and why not Bangem, and in Menji in the BLM division. Equally, we're going to have echoes from Kumba, and in the studio here we are going to be discussing these elections with panelists. Two of them are still on their way. One is already in the studio with me, Professor Mark Anthony. Good evening and welcome.
Thank you, and good evening to you, Leo. And I want to say good evening to the million viewers of this beautiful TV and channel. It is another day for nation building. I believe that we'll be educating as much as we can concerning the very events that are happening in our country, and precisely concerning the regional election that took place yesterday and the aftermath of it.
Okay, we are also welcoming Prince Joel Mukage, who is already in the studio with us. He's going to be joining us very shortly. But I will start by sending special greetings to the fan club that is out there in Nyasoso. Many of them always follow the program. Good evening to you, Commandant Sune Fritz, and to you, Elong and Eloba. Eloba, and a special one to you, Bachu, Ernest, who is always out there to follow the program. Everybody who is watching us from Nyasoso, I say a special good evening to you and across the nation. Prince Joel, good evening and welcome.
Good evening to you, Mr. Liu. Good evening to Professor Mark Anthony. Good evening to the million telespectators of My Media Prime, and particularly to Prime Hour, a program that so far is creating a lot of waves within and without Cameroon, particularly in the northwest and the southwest regions. We get this fact because each time we announce via social media on other platforms that we're going to be on a platform like this, the reaction we always get is very positive. Special good evening to the peace-loving people of Misaje subdivision and to the entire people in Bipanda.
You have a special greetings to the people in Messager. You are celebrating now. Fun is now a member of the House of Chiefs. But sure. They will deliver. One thing to celebrate, yeah.
Sure, Mr. Liu. There's a lot of joy inside of me today when I receive a call from His Royal Highness Fon Thomas Kimbuse, my uncle, that he has been made a member of the House of Chiefs. It is very true that, Mr. Liu, we should be very honest and give honor to whom it is due, that if we are where we are today, thanks to Dr. Fu Kalesus Gentry. Very honestly, I must say that many persons may feel that maybe one reason or the other. No, there's the truth. We should say that. So the Misaje people, out of the 20 chiefs that have been picked from the northwest and the southwest region, Misaje is a small community inside Donga Mountain in the northwest region. From Thomas Kimbuse is amongst the chiefs. Okay. The celebration was very hectic yesterday. People came out, everybody, to say, okay, His Royal Majesty, finally our dream has come true.
Tomorrow we are going to be looking at what the House of Chiefs and the regional houses are going to be able to deliver with respect to the problem that the expectations of the people, are they going to meet the expectations, especially when we look at the other institutions that have been created in line with what the 1996 Constitution actually defines. We are going to start, since we have lots and lots of things to talk about the regional elections, because the caption says A to Z of the conduct of these elections. We are going to get all the way from Kumbu in Bui division to get the reaction of the fun of Onso, who after he casted his ballot.
Nous sommes une forme avec I don't know what to say. Than to say, this is the challenge for the three of us to see what we can do here. And I'm sure that when we shall be talking to the government, through the government, we understand the space. We only want, what we want is peace. And that peace that the regional election will bring it to us and our people.
You are appeal to those who still think otherwise. What message do you have to them?
Well, I would like again to tell them that they have been struggling a lot. That it cannot be possible to tamper with your government when you are not fit to win your government. In 1968, the Nigerian Biafra war started in Nigeria. Fought, and they could not succeed. I don't see that we will succeed here.
Just lastly, the House of Chiefs. How important is this particular structure in consolidating peace in House of Chiefs?
The House of Chiefs is the house where we go there, meet, and try to work with the government and with our people to bring peace, as I earlier said.
Okay, first reaction there from the Fononso, who took part in the elections yesterday. Many persons were taken aback when they saw him carrying out his civic duty. After he's kidnapped, did you expect to see him in Seoul, especially taking part in the regional elections?
Like we call him the lion, it is just obvious that a person like him, after having made that decision to be part and parcel of this particular regional or say House of Chiefs or whatever decision that came up along with it, he had to make sure he back up his words with action. It is obvious that most people will find it actually daring, and some people point fingers to him or at him. But I want to say that people have their opinions and have their reasons why they do what they do. And if we believe that we are actually in a democratic nation and we want to build a democracy, we must learn to give people the opportunity to take decisions the way they want to take them. The only concern I have is the fact that the custodians of the traditions and customs of our land have actually politicized themselves. Let me use the word party. They have become partisan. Let me use the word partisan politicians, and that is what might end up actually creating a gap between the people and their funds, or say chiefs. Because in reality, Mr. Leo, the African chief is the head of a particular community who engulfs all the customs, traditions of that particular community, who works with the people in order to see into the advancement and development of that community. But if you look at what is happening, where the funds of most of our communities, because of partisan politics, have actually abandoned their various communities and are living, might be in elsewhere, in Yaoundé, in Douala, or other places, then only come during the day of election is a problem. And considering the fact that our chief Fon Benglo was actually kidnapped before, on normal basis, there's nobody who was expecting him to descend to appear for any vote. But like I said, everybody has a reason why they go for what they are going to. So since he has his particular reason, he had to dare. And that's to prove that his reason for going is stronger than the kidnap. Those who kidnapped him could not stop him from doing what he had made up his mind to do. To me, that is what it takes to be a leader. But what are the after effects? What are the consequences of this action?
Of his action.
So those are the things that we have to be looking at.
Now, Prince Joel, the Guardian Post says the forum saw tiptoes to take part in the election. Is that the same impression? Yeah.
Mr. Liu, I was to. That is why I was going through a few documents. Actually, I went through the tabloids. I went through the newspapers, and there is one newspaper that focused, that carried its main story.
The Guardian Post.
The Guardian Post, as well as the Median. The Median looked at it another way, the Guardian Post in another way, and the Post says he resurfaces. Now, tiptoed to an extent is, in a journalistic way, we could look at it that way, true, because after the phone was kidnapped and he came out, what we were told is that he was given a message for Yaoundé, and that many persons were like, he should go and deliver his message, and that people were like, what has become of the phone? Did he go or he did not go? That's the first aspect. The second aspect is the fact that now the phone appeared to vote in his hometown, Kumbo, which means that he may not have gone, and that he is maybe based on his former agreement with those who kidnapped him. We may not know whether those who kidnapped him were against elections, but given that a majority of those of the separatists had called for a lockdown till during the day of elections, it should, if one were to give an analysis of it, it could be that they should have said, okay, no elections in the Northwest and the Southwest, which means that even the funds were not to go to the polls. But now, the fund goes. Tiptoeing, to me, the way I look at it at the Guardian Post may mean that the fund hiddenly went and voted, which means that he did not come out in the fanfare and everything that accompanies. Because in other areas, like in the South, we saw the Minister of Higher Education, Jacques Famdongo. In other areas, we saw the Minister of Arts and Culture, or sports, Professor Nasser.
Yeah, but Eli, can we see can we just take a listen or a view to the video after the phone voted? Can we just have it's a few seconds? Can we have it? Okay, that's the phone.
There's something about the font today. I don't know if some persons have noticed, except my eyes are deceiving me. When I look at the attire today, it's synonymous with what he wore the day he was released, the day of the voting. Now, the phone has come out, and the statements he made before now, and I did listen to him, he made allusion to so many things. Did not only talk about the fighting in the Northwest and the Southwest, took the journalist who asked him a question back to Nigeria. And the phone says it's a failed battle. And that is what the media captured. and that the fund, according to the median newspaper of Ojong Stephen, our colleague, that the fund challenges those who are still in the bushes to drop their arms and come out. It means that the fund believes that, to him, from what he said, that regional elections and decentralization is what a majority of those who took up arms were asking for. And to him, it has been given.
Okay. Let's take a listen to Aminati Kemgu Fwanya, who took all the risk to move down to Libialem, and very briefly tell us how things went down that way.
I am very happy to be in Menji after about 4 years. And contrary to what we get on social media, the place is very calm, under control, under state control. Menji is very quiet. My travel from Cham to Menji was very safe. Contrary to widespread what you hear on social media that there were gunshots, I have not heard any gunshots since I left my house in Boya. And I'm in Menji now. I initially planned to leave immediately after the elections, but I've changed my mind to spend more days and get to know the reality on the ground, because I think our community needs to be more responsible. They need to come back home. We want people to come back home. I was talking to the senior division officer for the BLM, Mr. Mongambo William Kmer, and he's expressing shock that those of them who are civil servants are here all the time, and the people who are supposed to be indigenous of this area are the ones who are coming and running. Nobody knows what they are running away from. And I want to also add that the people we are running away from are our children. They are children born in Nebialem. They are Bangwa boys and girls. We know them, we know their parents, we know their houses. It is our collective responsibility to call them to order and to sit them down and talk to them, that it does nobody any good. I was very worried to see Mary Health of Africa Hospital, where I was born, without electricity. And it's a very disturbing situation. And nobody is going to come from Yaoundé or the United Nations or wherever they are saying that people are coming from to make Lebialem a better place for us. We are the ones who are supposed to make Lebialem what it's supposed to be. And we should stop this generalizing responsibility coming from our end. They are already tagging us at the regional level.
Okay, that is that was Aminati Kengu. He made that video yesterday during the elections in Menji, Libialem division. We are going over to the southwest region. Let's find out what went wrong. There was some issues for misinformation on money that was supposedly given to chiefs that did not arrive. Can we get that and the rectification from the SDO for Meme?
What I'm saying is one of the most painful situations we have among chiefs here. There was even a strike for them not to vote. The message we have been hearing about our president, our national president, Paul Biya, has given making a largesse to the chiefs. What we know as a division, the electoral register for 80 chiefs to vote to give the division, the money is 450,000. If you have to divide 450,000 by 80 chiefs, that should be just 5,000 francs Cfa plus. Is that the money that people will be singing on radio, TV, all around that we have been sent a largesse as chiefs to come and vote? Those are the things that pain people. Those are the things that pain our colleagues. It is not good. Such a message, if you send something, the way it comes, people receive the way they will be quiet. They're making the alarm, telling the world to understand as if something happened that did not happen. If something is wrong, let the thing come out. Let's know if truly the money they sent for Meme is 450,000. That means 5,000 something francs per chief. That's the largest, that's the big money. 5,000 francs per chief. That's the big money that they are announcing for people to be having confrontation with their subjects. Some people will not go back to their villages. Some chiefs will not go back to their villages for getting 5,000 francs. So I like to make this story be heard everywhere to know that the money they claim that our national president sent to Meme TV is 5,000 francs plus.
Okay.
Chief, I think that also we are aware that the government support to them, but they should know it very well. That support was for those who are candidates at the national level. That means in many divisions. The support the head of state sent was for the 3 concerned chiefs by this regional election. In general, and those 3 chiefs have received this support, which they are trying to manage in order to be sure that the economic chief also relevant. And also, we know it very well, the situation.
Okay, the chiefs, once again, we were talking about the fund on SOR, but that is the situation also of some of the chiefs. The money that was made available, they thought that it was for everybody, though the SDO says the money was for candidates, but saying that 400 and something thousand is sent to chiefs for campaign. How do we understand this?
Leo, I want to say that there is no particular provision in the electoral code that permits any amount of money to be dished to chiefs.
For elections?
For elections. Neither is there any in the Constitution of Cameroon. So it therefore implies that that was a gift, or let me put it that way, from the president. Or, like the Minister of Territorial Administration call it a largesse. That is the right word to be used. He owes nothing to these chiefs, nor to the funds. So whatsoever came into their hands, they were supposed to receive it. The first reason is that most of our chiefs have decided to become salary earners. That is not the duty of the chief.
How do you want them to survive?
They are supposed to be able to survive.
How?
Because being the head of a community makes you a leader of other community. Your relationship with your people makes, we are in Africa. In Africa, we have this particular saying that a child is only raised by a village. You have a child, you give birth to a child, but that child can only be raised by the villagers, not you alone. So the chief, who is the head, must be taken care of by his people, which is what had always been in our African communities, and precisely in Cameroon here. We have been practicing that, making sure we take care of our chiefs. But if the chiefs, by virtue of the 1970s law that was created, that decided to rank chiefs and decided to dish some few francs to them, and most of them they wholeheartedly accepted it, I don't see a reason why he who has decided to politicize himself should complain about a largesse that has been given to him. He's acting out of context. I don't think that he should open his mouth and say what he's saying there. The president owes him no franc. So if they gave them the money, it was just because the president thought, okay, these guys are actually engaging into something. For the first time, it's good that I give something. Even though we might say that it is the president, I think it is not the president. That is taxpayers' money. And if they are giving them taxpayers' money to eat, he should not come to the TV and say what he's saying or whatsoever he said it, because not many persons saw that 5,000 is complaining that if they have to divide it among 80 different chiefs, it will be just 5,000 francs. How many Cameroonians saw 5,000 francs yesterday like he saw? If in case we have to put it that way. Though the DO came to correct it that it was for those who were going in for elections, I still think that the president owed them nothing. There is no provision in the electoral code that permits that, neither in the constitution of this nation. And secondly, if we have to go into the constitution of Cameroon, except there's going to be an amendment, there is nothing in it like House of Chiefs. So that is just a creation that came as a result of the 2019 national dialogue. So if they are struggling to set it up, they should be able to accept whatsoever comes out of it, if as long as they are always doing what we call motions of support every year. That he should instead be doing a motion of support rather than complaining. That's an error he's putting up, and that is insubordination. in relation to my understanding of things. So, Mr. Leo, I am not in support of that chief.
Okay.
Because he has aired wrong errands.
Okay, your reaction to that fact.
Mr. Leo, the truth is when the Minister of Territorial Administration, Paul Atanganje, made the announcement that traditional rulers
They're going to be
were going to
receive
something from the president. The amount wasn't made public. The next day, all newspapers, all media organs, in fact, even the main media, the country, that's the state media, they took time to talk on it, and a lot of analysis were given. But now the issue is, there are two things I took from it. First, when you look at the amount, the message, when I read the communique from Mr. Paul Atanganje, the communique said the head of state wants to assist traditional rulers who are taking part in the regional elections. And I want to believe that, Mr. Leo, before now, on this same platform, I'd raised this issue, and you were the one who answered me by saying, Mr. Leo, that if it is small, it is because political parties have, that's municipal councillors have something given by the government. And what I got from those on this panel, I said it here, I had not known the amount, was that traditional rulers have been given so because they do not belong to political parties. Now, when you hear what the chief of, you said it's a paramount chief of Boya?
No, that's the chief of Kokoboma.
Okay.
He's the president of the Kmer.
Okay,
Chiefs Conference.
Now, when you listen to what he said, Mr. Leo, let us be categorical. This is what he says. He says that the money given to all chiefs is 400,000 francs. Arithmetically, that each chief were to take 5,000 francs. It's a slap and a shame.
Yeah.
Mr. Leo, I'm coming. I'm saying that if the head of state, out of his magnanimity, because nobody asked him, chiefs did not make a community.
The 400,000 is from Meme.
Okay, for Meme chiefs.
Yes.
No, when you look at Meme, how many chiefs are in Meme? That's another point of contention.
Mr.
Leo, let me cue you. The potential voters are first and second class chiefs.
Yes.
Now the question we should ask ourselves for arithmetic to be good is, how many first class and second class chiefs are in Meme? That's the first question we should ask ourselves. When you are able to know the first class and second class chiefs in the whole Meme, because first class and second class chiefs are potential voters of the regional elections. Now, when you have a total of the first and second class chiefs in Meme, that is it. We now put 100,000 francs or 400,000 plus in front of the first and second class chiefs, and then we now do an analysis, or we divide. Now, if assuming that there are just 10 chiefs or maybe 20, what does each person take home?
No. The fact is, the chiefs are going to vote, but the candidates are those that are supposed to. This money is sent to the candidates for Meme, and then they are going to be elected by their peers. It's like regional, those that are going to stand for elections. They are voted by the electorate. The chiefs constitute the electorate here. But my question is, if this money was meant for those that are participating, let's assume that maybe Meme has 8 chiefs that are going into the House of Chiefs, or maybe just 3. Maybe they just have 3. Okay, the 400,000 francs is going to the 3 candidates that are running for these elections. Yes, that is what obtains.
I don't think so.
No,
yes, that's what obtains now. But the question is,
for those who vote now,
that is what
for
is.
Those who
it's not what you think. It's what is.
What is that the money is going for the containers. But the question is,
how did these other chiefs get 5,000 francs? Was it for bribe or what? That's my question.
And before we get to that place, I want to ask the question: how comes that there is no provision in the electoral code or in the constitution that actually defines that amount? If it is not there, why did they give them the money?
It's the president of the
It's
Republic.
clear.
Okay, so if they are giving the money, then they should not be complaining, because the largesse, like the minister said.
Yeah, but my question is, the fact is that this money was given to those who are participating. That is the delegates now.
Yes.
Yes, but the chief says they received 5,000 francs. The 5,000 francs was for what? From where?
Yeah, that's a very good.
Senior barrister.
That's a very good one.
You may help us understand better.
Thank you, Mr. Leo. Good evening. Sorry for. Well, the problem here is that if you look at those elections keenly, there are many questions to be raised. We know that the electorate is supposed to be made up of councillors. Yes. Now I hear chiefs.
No.
No, for the chiefs.
Excuse me. I can back whatever I'm saying. I have legal backing for councillors constituting the electorate. But when you come and tell me that chiefs, so who empower the chiefs to become electors? Who empowered them? So, please, you see, we work on the basis of law. Now, this is even made worse when we have.
Prince.
It's made worse when we have allegations of, testimony, not allegation, testimony of chiefs who claim to have received 5,000 francs for voting. That is a clear case of fraud, because you cannot entice somebody to vote for you by giving him 5,000 francs. It is forbidden. So when the chiefs declare that they receive 5,000, that is clear voter fraud. Because, I mean, it is not provided for anywhere that somebody who is going to vote should receive money from the person organizing the elections. So I think that these elections are going to show us some other brand of democracy, because we don't understand how you are coming up with institutions which they don't have the same name throughout the country.
Advanced democracy.
You are putting in place things that don't have the same names. You have regional councils in the other side. You have House of Divisional Representative and another one. You see,
House of Divisional Representatives.
Yes, not as we have the House of Divisional Representatives.
Not House of Chiefs.
No, not House of.
Not regional house. Their own regional is split into two, House of Chiefs and House of Divisional Representatives. So you see, we are looking at all this. I had questioned this thing. Where have you gotten this thing from? Where did it come from?
It's not from the Constitution.
It's not from the Constitution. So this is the Constitution says that.
Special status now.
Excuse me. The special status is supposed to align itself with the Constitution, and the Constitution says that the structures of the state are the councils and the regions. So you cannot go create what is not provided for in the Constitution and call it a legal status or legal structure of the state. So I was waiting for them to put it in place. If they are putting it in place, then they will give us a legal backing, because you cannot go enact a law that is against the Constitution, because the Constitution says the structures of the state are the councils and the regions. House of Chiefs has no place in that Constitution. Yeah, right. So where are they bringing it from? They say Grand National Dialogue. Is that the Constitution? Is that an amendment to the Constitution? No, sir. These people should sit up. I had told them that they should put it in place.
No, but is it not in the law of decentralization that was voted in 2019?
That is what I'm saying. That the law goes against the Constitution.
Mr. Liu, when we are voting laws must align with the main law of the land, which is the Constitution. And if you look into the Constitution, as I said earlier, there is no provision for the House of Chiefs. Practically none. Yeah,
but does the Constitution not give the opportunity for a special status to be granted? And this is the special status that has been granted. The Sabres and others.
How can the Constitution give a special status? Where did you see that?
But there is a provision.
If you want to talk about the Constitution granting a special status,
the possibility
then you will not bring it under the structures of the state.
Okay.
You will bring it as under a special status, which has nothing to do. That will be at variance with Article 2.
Okay, let's stay with Kumba. We get the reactions of many of those who took part in the elections, and also we will start with Tamfu Sidwan to paint a picture of how Kumba looked like yesterday and today.
Good evening to you, Mr. Leo. Good evening to Senior Barrister Shu Emmanuel. Good evening to Professor Mark Anthony and to my brother Prince Joel Mukake. You are welcome to Kumba, the capital of Kmer division. And as you all know, that elections took place in Kumba yesterday amidst heavy ghost town imposed by the separatist pressure groups. Since Friday the 4th of December, the streets of Kumba were deserted. Commercial and private activities were unable to hold due to the announced lockdown by separatist pressure groups. Now on elections day that was yesterday, the 6th of December 2020, the streets were still empty. Delegates to the regional house were either embedded to the various polling stations here, and it should be noted that despite the threats from separatist fighters here, councillors from Kumba 1, Kumba 2, 3, Mbonge and Konye casted their votes at the Community Development Specialization Training School. So 3 polling stations were here in this particular center. So at the end of the exercise, 142 councillors casted their votes and 2 null votes were recorded from the 142 who actually casted their votes yesterday in Kumba. Meanwhile, for elections of delegates to the Regional House of Chiefs, 57 out of 80 chiefs casted their votes here in Kmer division. So most of the delegates and equally some of the councillors and mayors who voted yesterday stated that they were so confident about those who are heading to the regional council in the southwest region of Cameroon, and to them the CBDM party, since it is the lone political party which was contesting from Kmer division, they thought that the party has selected the best who are able to produce a good results for the entire population of Kmer division. On the other part, chiefs at the beginning of the elections were somehow disgruntled, and it was on the issue of money that was allegedly sent by the head of state, President Paul Biya. So some of the chiefs were not happy. Chief Eseme from Kokoboma, who doubles as the president of the Konye Chief Conference, who spoke to My Media Prime Television, stated that the media, especially the state media, and equally some actors have been stating that the chiefs receive huge sum of money, and with this over projection, it made their subject to think that they were going to bring back huge sums of money that was allegedly meant for chiefs who are going to vote here in the southwest region. But unfortunately, it came out that the money was handed to 3 chiefs who were representing Kmer chiefs at the regional house of chiefs. The money was directed to the 3 chiefs and not the other chiefs. So this information went viral. The chief of Kokoboma was not happy about the issue, because if the money was meant for all the chiefs in Kmer division, then each chief would have gone back home with about 5,000 francs CFA, and that does not reflect the supposed grand gesture that was allegedly done by the head of state, President Paul Biya. So that is exactly what transpired. But a few minutes after that, the Kmer SDO was talking to the press when he reacted and stated categorically clear that the money was meant for the 3 chiefs who were supposed to be elected as representatives of the Kmer chiefs to the regional house of chiefs. That is exactly what transpired here. At the end of the day, the election went on well. Some political gurus in Kmer division, in the name of Honorable Tabord Lawson, who is the parliamentarian for Kumba Center constituency, equally passed around to get abreast with the situation. Senator Andrew Otemufa was equally there to get abreast with the situation, and His Excellency Chief Justice Benjamin Mutanga Itwe. These are some political gurus in the city of Kumba and Kmer division. They are of the Cameroon People's Democratic Movement, the CPDM party. So the election went on well, no hitches, no gunshots, although the city of Kumba was ghosted yesterday during that elections.
The Regional House is going to do a lot for us in the southeast region.
I think that this should be a prelude to solving the 4-year ongoing Anglophone crisis. I am very confident. You see, we are in the CPD, and it's a party that absolutely respects hierarchy. These are, I would say, decisions from the bottom right to the top. I mean, the councillors were participatory in selecting these candidates.
The councillors of Kmer, number 1, 2, 3, Konye and Mbonge, have actually decided not to betray their people. They have decided to come out to exercise their civic rights and to make sure that they decide the caliber of persons who are supposed to go in to the regional house to represent us in Kmer.
I'm sure it is going to bolster the nation's economy and promote the full decentralization that the country is vying for.
We should stand to respect the norms. The laws will the peers will vote their candidates to be represented in the regional house. Not politicians to nominate chiefs who are going to the regional house. That was not being done at this last exercise. But nevertheless, life is good to move forward. And we never keep things and stand to. That's why I'm saying the first voter here and the first person to stand.
We meticulously checked their files. We saw that they were competent ones who could defend us. Some other competent ones, they were applied. It's unfortunate that the number of cases we have no warrant that we get everybody to fix their shoes. So
and this is an opportunity for us to take part in that development. So today is very special. Today is historic. Today will make us proud as Cameroonians. We are going to witness, the regions never existed. And we know that these big projects that affect the region are going to be executed by, they are going to be planned by, they are going to be decided by the region.
For the party that I represent, we have mobilized our electors and we have sensitized them on the necessity to vote, because voting for it means voting for the manifesto of the party, and it means voting for the ideals of the head of states to ensure that there is total regionalization in this country.
Okay, that was Kumba, how it looked like yesterday, and today we are going to continue. We'll be touching all the other divisions in the Southwest and Northwest regions. Can we just have a reaction from Kmer? What happened in Kmer yesterday when the governor arrived? Seemingly,
hello?
Okay, that was it. Okay, that was in that was in Kmer and Kumba. Yeah, your take from the pictures, is it euphoria? What? Why were the people happy?
That seems to. That's just to inform us that Kmer is a place where life is like moving on well. From the pictures, you can actually conclude that everything is working well in Kmer, and the people are actually with, should I say, the government? Not the same case elsewhere in the Southwest.
Like
not like in Kumba, not like in Ekona, not like in Moyoka, because I don't think if the governor of Southwest visits Ekona, he will receive that kind of welcome. There's something, so that's proof enough that maybe the people of Kmer are actually Republican, let me say that, because irrespective of the situation that is on the ground, they are able to say, okay, let's forget about all the problems we are having and receive our governor. And they received him warmly. I saw somebody even threw a loin on the ground for the governor to drop on. So as long as I'm concerned, I would say the politicians who are found in Kamer have been able to do their work well, to be able to win the hearts of their people and rally them behind the Republican, should I say, behind Republican institutions. And so, to me, I don't have a problem with that.
Okay.
I wish that can be the same results everywhere in the Northwest and Southwest.
Yeah, newspapers are reporting about vote buying as being the order of the day. Was there need for votes to have been bought, given that the CPDM was running unchallenged at almost everywhere? Even for the case of the chiefs, yeah?
Sure, Mr. Leo, when I listened to the chief, the paramount chief of Kmer, from what he said.
No, he is the president of Kmer.
The president. But I just feel that in the whole Northwest and Southwest region, the only political party that had a council is the SDF, that had mandatory council. And the SDF, before the election, said we're not going for any elections. It means that in the Northwest and the Southwest, there was just one political party for the regional elections called the CPDM. Now, the question you asked is a very good one. Was there need to even motivate people to vote? Why motivate somebody when you already have 100%? Why should you call on somebody to go vote when you know that at the end of the day, whether they vote or they don't vote, you've won?
Maybe it's risk allowance, yeah?
Risk allowance, I would not want to feel so. But I just feel that all these positions had already been taken. We should know that prior to the regional elections, the minister delegate of the presidency in charge of defense, Joseph Bechasomo, was in the Northwest region, and he had gone to Kumba already. Now, it means that at the level of security, I want to feel that everything was put in place to ensure that the councillors and the traditional rulers be secured, so much such that at the end of the day, they give a 100%, like it has been the case. Now, the question is, or the problem is, why will somebody want to give money to lobby for something he already has? Maybe it is just like, say, okay, you are going out to vote. We just feel that some of you are not that viable. We should motivate you so that maybe in the course of the voting, you could also take care of one person or say the other. Because let us be, I'll give you a very simple example, Mr.
But
I think during
when the votes actually bought,
the word bought will not be good. You buy when there's an opponent. You don't buy when you're alone. You don't buy votes when you're alone, because the CPDM was not contesting.
But in other parts of the country,
correct. No, yes, we could talk about vote buying, because in other parts of the country, say the littoral, for instance, the CPDM had challengers, and it's been normal that in these areas where they were, it should be normal, because, Mr. Leo, there is something about politics. Some of us who have been covering this event, we have come to realize one thing. We have realized that each person in his own jurisdiction wants to send a very strong message to you out there.
To President Paul Biya,
the chairman of the party. Because you cannot say, Mr. Leo, for instance, let me take the case of Littoral. I was sitting somewhere, and the man who is in charge of the whole Littoral, Lorenzo, I saw him enter, and I was somewhere around there yesterday. Now, everything Lorenzo, we do everything that at the end of the day, CPDM comes out 100% in the Littoral region. It doesn't matter how. It means that he's going to do everything, even if it means buying the councillors, motivating the traditional rulers. Buying means motivating them. I covered senatorial elections. It should be 2011, I'm sure. First senatorial elections, where all those who voted, the councillors who voted in Kmer, were caged in the council hall. They spent more than 3 days there. Sure. I'm speaking of evidences.
No, we are talking about this.
But that's another thing. But I'm saying that, Mr. Leo, that in every area where there is somebody, because in every region, division or subdivision, there is somebody who is head of the CPD.
Yeah,
and that person must struggle to send a good message.
Yeah, that's sending this good message. Can we understand that in Nyon Ikele, for example, PCRN has 107 councillors, but only 97.
Thank you, Mr. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Leo. Before I come to your question, the question you asked, Prof.
Yes.
You see, what we saw in Kmer is a big violation of the electoral code.
Okay.
On election day, there should be no campaigning. What you saw there, that was pure campaign.
That was no campaign.
Say, excuse me, sir. That was pure campaign. What do you call Papa Eleyayo?
That was the governor.
No,
the governor
it is pure campaign, sir. Look, it is forbidden. It's forbidden. First of all, those people who were out there were not supposed to be there. It is only councillors. It's only the electorate that was supposed to be out. I want to remind you that on election day, it is forbidden to travel. Where did they come out from? Is that their home? No, it is a violation. I hope the electoral, the Constitutional Council is seeing these type of things. It is a violation of the electoral code. No, truly. I mean, this is a violation of the electoral code. You cannot on election day be campaigning. That's campaigning. Papa Eleyayo, what is that? No. So being Republican, they are clearly campaigning. What are they doing there? Those people who were all lying there had no business to be there. The women and children who were there lining the streets.
They are supposed to be in their houses.
They are supposed to be in their houses. So look, this is a violation of the laws of the land. They should consider that thing null and void. I mean, in Kmer, the election in Kmer should be nullified because of what we have seen. They are not supposed to do that. What is the governor going there on election day to go and do? To visit who? The voters. Is it
to supervise?
No, is it Elekam? Is it Elekam? No, it's nonsense. It's absolute nonsense. They are politicizing the election, which is not. It's not normal. They're using the election to say, okay, things are normal. That is not the opportunity, sir. That's not the opportunity. Now, coming back to the question you asked. Nyoekele. Out of 190 something, this man had been 75 or 87. Well, it's the same thing with the other areas where CPDM had majority, but they were still making efforts at securing the vote. Because it is not because you have a majority that you think that will vote for you. We saw that in Kumba, the mayor who was there when there was a repeat election, the mayor who was there was unseated.
So you have to be double sure.
Aha! You have to be double sure that these people are not going to give the votes to some other contender who is aside. Look, we had this thing in the East. They call us a come and take. People say, come and take. Come and take. Unfortunately, we couldn't because of logistical reasons. You see, it is possible that the councillors of one party gave their vote to another candidate whom they think is better placed than the one of their party. And that is what happened to Mr. Cabral. Because he had all those people, he thought that because it is his own land, they will vote for him. No, sir. The people decided to vote for competence, and they gave their votes to people who deserve the position more than their own people.
Competence are not being bought over? Was it competence or they were bought?
We don't have proof that the people of Leon give money to vote elsewhere. Who don't have the evidence?
Yes.
Yeah, sure, Mr. Liu, I think that what we saw in Young and Kelly is a clear indication that at times certain persons who hail you and hail you may not actually be for you, because I will not understand how these people they became municipal councillors under a list that was Kabalibi's list, the PCRN. Now, but some persons within that same municipal councillors go to vote against their own party's chairman. But let me tell you, Mr. Liu, he is the party chairman. Kabalibi is the party chairman of the PCRN. And
okay, I just wanted to intervene there because they were not voting for Kabalibi. He's not the regional.
They are voting their party.
MPO
but they are voting their party.
And like we would say, those were electorates who could choose anybody to vote for.
But
so
this is
at times irrespective of the fact that we have grown in the politics in Cameroon, where we are so partisan, it is possible that a particular group of persons will say, okay, for my own good, I think this guy has a better manifesto than the other person, so I'm going to vote his. And like we also know, money works in Cameroon when it comes to politics. So people can be, yes, that's why I said, like, we know, as not say I'm putting that. It is possible that some of them would have been paid off for that. And so they have to go and vote. So it's not a matter of, because I came from this party, I must vote for this party.
Prof, this is what I think. I think that what I'm saying here is simple. I'll give you a very simple example. I'll take the case of the CPDM. In each polling station, the CPDM does all and all to know who had voted what and why. It means that even within the PCRN, if I were Cabralibi, I would have investigated first to know those of my councillors. This way, they are his councillors.
How do you know? How do you know? Let's move over to another locality in whom to get the picture of how things went through in Menchum division. Can we start with the report from Charles Keboa, and then we get the reactions of the funds and.
Welcome to Menchum Division, and good evening to all viewers out there watching us live from Womb, to tell you that the House of Representatives, that is the House of Chiefs, and those of the councillors equally in Womb Menchum Division played a very vital role yesterday to ensure that the House of Assembly, which is about, to bring out the special status and the decentralization process in Cameroon, went effectively smooth in a Menchum division, hitch-free with just no major problem. To tell you that there were 107 councillors that exercised, their civic right voluntarily, and equally 56 chiefs in a Menchum division that participated, to tell you that the House of Chiefs and the regional representatives did all to ensure that a Menchum division be represented to bring the much awaited development that many in this division expect, and why not even the region. Just to tell you that it did pass on hitch-free, as those councillors that actually participated and did their civic right, they had this for us.
The place of this regional council has come to concretize the process. Expectations are very, very high. We pray that Cameroonians should be patient, stop behaving like Thomas, wait and see what will come out.
Make it possible that Egyptians, the Northwest, the special status for the Northwest and Southwest, make sure that the House of Chiefs come back, which has been our right of the division of the two regions to develop.
You cannot talk policy without talking about development. And so we are sure that that's part of the completion of the decentralization process that all of us have been waiting for. I am sure they put in place the regional councils today. There is going to be a lot of collaboration between the local structures, local councils, and the regions, which will liaise up with the central body so that we can all bring them up.
Yeah, just given that there was just only one list in Menchum division that was under the coordination of the CPDM, whose team leader, Honorable G. Fidelis, equally had this for us.
We are going to come back to Honorable G. Fidelis and the governor. Can we just get through with Honorable G. Fidelis and the governor of the Northwest region in Womb?
Peaceful day very huge participation and also the enthusiasm that I saw in the faces of the voters, and of course the presence of candidates. And above all, I'm extremely delighted with the presence of the governor of this region, who has been able to come up and see for himself. You can see behind there still so many councillors, so many traditional rulers, separate divisions, so participation over 90%. So it's very grateful, very delighted and excited to be part of the process of getting to a new Cameroon, where we have this new structure of the special status and the reinforced decentralization.
Massively to vote for the special status, confirming the will of our people to remain united, indivisible, and to organize themselves locally and regionally to develop our regions, mainly here in the Northwest region. After having visited all the headquarters of the division, I confirmed that the elections went on history in the whole Northwest region, despite the many challenges that were ahead of us before the elections. Thanks to the mobilization of the population, the tribal rulers, the municipal councillor, the political parties, not to talk of elections, Cameroon that organized it very well, and the security services, without whom we.
Okay, thank you there, Kmer Charles, from whom we're going to continue here. The security situation, from every indication, we've not gotten the one councillor is said to have been killed yesterday after he voted in Momo division. A priest was attacked and a seminarian when they were going for mass. We also hear that Amber Boys also took hostage some Christians who were in church yesterday in the Northwest region, calling them blacklegs for coming out. But overall,
14 by 16.
Yes, there were some shootings in my 14 yesterday early in the morning. But
Even
overall,
Boya?
my 14 is in Boya.
No, Boya said inside Boya they was shooting in Boya. They were shooting in Boya.
Yes, but overall, I'll start with you from here. Overall, the elections took place yesterday.
Well, you see, the whole place was ghosted, and the CPDM had the opportunity to do what they wanted, because those who called for the lockdown succeeded with their lockdown, but they did not contemplate the eventuality of CPDM taking advantage of lockdown to come out and do their voting. Well, it's only later on we saw images. I don't know at what time they did that, but if you look at the nature of the streets, you see that the lockdown was effective. But we see images of people in police stations. Well, it showed that they was voting. And when you hear from the interviews, it is not people who were paid to go vote. It is the real actors who were there to vote. So I think the CPDM took advantage of the lockdown to carry out its exercise.
Are you saying that if there was no lockdown, the elections would not hold?
Well, you know, this election was a special one that was being conducted by an electoral college. It did not concern the entire population. A lockdown will be effective with an election that concerns with a general election. Good. See, but when it concerns an election conducted by an electoral college, a lockdown is inappropriate. It's a measure inappropriate, so it cannot bear the fruits that you expect. I think that it was not necessary for it. The lockdown was not necessary because, as we see, all the places were ghosted, heavily ghosted, for all the 4 days. But the election went on.
Okay. How did the lockdown influence elections in the Southwest and Northwest regions?
Just like I said yesterday on this same platform, that the whole idea of lockdown concerning this particular election was not necessary. Why? Because it was just another means to staff and some of our parents who are back there. It was just another way of actually punishing people, because I would not think that had it didn't help in any way to give them what they are fighting for. And so, like the barrister rightly said, it was an election to be conducted by an electoral college, which actually had already been if you look critically, most of them, the Northwest and Southwest, had already been ferried to where they were supposed to vote. And so whether there was lockdown or not, they were supposed to vote. And they went and voted. Question I asked yesterday, and I will still ask now, is how did it help in fostering the cause? Nothing. And so that was, to me, a punishment that was stern on our people, which I think is very bad and not correct. And that is why, in my opinion, I want to say it is time for these guys to rethink things. And if in case they actually think that they have a fight to fight, they should be able to re-strategize, because that is not the way forward. That is not the way forward. It's not going to give them what they want. Somebody mentioned it, and I will still say it, told me it is the purpose of the ghost town is to tell the international community that they are not partisans of this particular election. They are not participating. But we still have parliamentarians from the same area. We have councillors from the same area. That's to make the world already know that everything is fine in Cameroon. So as long as they keep on pressing on this, they are punishing our own people. And so I think that there should be another way to push the Cameroon government to the table of discussion, not lockdowns and whatsoever, because the lockdowns are a punishment. I will say that, and I will keep repeating it, Mr. Liu. It's a punishment to our people. It's not a punishment to the government. It's not a punishment to the military. It's a punishment to our people.
Okay.
So they should stop punishing our people.
Good evening, Mr. Liu. I want to say hi to Barrister Ashu Emmanuel. I love him because of his truth. What was going on in Camer, my hometown, was totally wrong. They can't find some of us that left school in 2016 and help us, but they're playing politics while we are suffering in Yaoundé. Let the MP play that politics. I can't go to Camer, but there is no security in my place. Indu Ngwa, Los Anba. Michelson is writing from Yaoundé. Good evening to you, Michelson. Azza Nelson from Village says, good evening to everyone in the studio. Mr. Liu, I wonder this type of elections, they have to pay people to go and vote. However, what I know is that nothing good can come out of this. Our country is corrupted, so let's change the system in place. Extend my regards to Takam Nicholas and Asa Michael in the southwest region. I hope they get your greetings. This one says, good evening, Mr. Liu. Let the man that called himself okay, but okay. The Kmer people are traitors, and in those days of ID, I mean that are traitors. No, please. It's democracy now. What they believe in, they should have the right to also. Well, I think they should have the right to do what they want also. Good evening, Mr. Liu. It's Esther from Bamenda. Please always bring our senior barrister. He is a game changer. I like his analysis in every topic. Okay, we hope that he's getting your please. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and everyone in the studio. Please, I wish to know if the money given to the chiefs is 400 million or 400,000, because I'm still shocked. It's Jean Paul writing from Bamenda. It's 400,000. Mr. Liu, I just want to ask whether the special status was for the Northwest and Southwest or for the whole country, because I'm confused. I'm Jules writing from Bamenda. Is for the Southwest and Northwest only. Good evening, Mr. Liu. And panelist chiefs should learn to work to earn a living rather than watching at people's mouths to survive. Enomulu Bat is also writing from Bamenda. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm very concerned with the powers entrusted in the hands of the traditional chiefs, but what baffles me is, would these traditional chiefs be given the opportunity to carry out the development in their various communities as inscribed in the so-called special status? Viga Fidelis is writing from Yaoundé. Good evening to the crew. The program is very interesting. I love the way Mr. Joel is talking. These elections will yield no fruit for the fun to make. Okay. Jamal from Bamenda, Big Mbingo. Good evening to you, Jamal. Mr. Liu, Our phone has chosen the CPDM than his people. She took off. Writing from Douala Aquanor, good evening to you, She, and the family. They are even telling the phone what to say from the background. Ekwe is writing from Bamenda. Now, Prince Joel, the phone of Mso, is saying that those who are involved in this struggle should drop their weapons and that what they all seek is peace. Is that going to be a key objective, responsibility of the fonts and chiefs that are going to be elected into the respective House of Chiefs?
Salio, the first thing we should let Cameroonians know is the fact that the regional elections that took place yesterday has as major objective to quench the tension in the Northwest and the Southwest region. And that traditional rulers have been given an opportunity again to come back with what existed in the 1957 called the House of Chiefs. And you already see the fun of Banso believing that it is time for peace to be given a chance. But now, there are so many things that come to play. The first thing is he was taken captive. He was in the hands of the Amber guys, and the Amber guys gave him a message. From what he said, that they've given him a message for Yaoundé. Has that message been given to the powers that be? Food for thought. Another issue is the fact that we actually saw him after so many weeks that he left the Amber camp. It is yesterday that the people saw him come out to actually vote. And was he in Congo before coming out to vote, or he was somewhere before coming out yesterday to come out and vote? Now, he is preaching peace. It's very true that a majority of us have always said that killing children, kidnapping children, and doing so many things will not yield fruits. But the major issue is that we have also always said that if the people in the Northwest and the Southwest region took up arms, it's because at one time they had legitimate claims and they were like, okay, let us do everything to ensure that the crisis comes to an end. But now, have we already struggled to solve the crisis? Where are we with it? Because
what message would you expect from a chief or a phone now? Your phone has been elected. He's a member now.
He's a member, yes.
Yeah. What do you expect from him? That's going to be the focus for tomorrow's edition.
Sure, and I want to tell you, Mr. Liu, and tell the viewers that it will be an honor that the phone may give his own impression tomorrow, because I'm going to actually to give you access so you can get to him and do other things. He's going to give what he expects. I'm not on this. I don't know what he's thinking. But when I got the information and I spoke with him this evening, it is but normal. The phone of Mr. J before now has never supported those who took up arms. I'm saying his opinion. He's an uncle.
So
he has never.
Your phone sees things the same way the phone on saw.
He even sees more than him. From Thomas Kimbuse has never asked. Rumor just meet him in the palace that you have even rumored that Amber or anything, they bring you to the palace and you're flocked. And if it's not to his satisfaction, they take you to other areas. I don't think that I should be discussing my father that way.
Okay, but, it's okay.
But the issue is, Mr. Liu, that traditional rulers as of now, the House of Chiefs is created. I believe that when the head of state talked about bringing back the House of Chiefs, which is something old.
It's not the same.
Even if it's not the same, but I just feel the name is House of Chiefs.
Because at the time
yes.
we were talking in the dispensation of federation, at the time.
Sure. Yeah, of this. Now we're talking decentralization. Now we are having now, Mr. Liu, the House of Chiefs is going to give some chiefs, or if not chiefs, a kind of a forum where they too can share their ideas, their opinions, and also give to the powers that be. It is very true that even when we talk about decentralization, there are so many people already saying, okay, if we want to talk about regional elections, what is the place of the governor? Because the governor still remains the head of the region. We mean that you may take all your decisions. When they come at the level of the governor says no, and it ends at that level.
Okay. Let's get down to Limbe with Kuma Onore to find out how things went down there in the seaside resort city of Limbe.
Good evening, televiewers of Prime Hour, and welcome to Limbe for this special update on the elections for the Regional House of Councillors and the Regional House of Chiefs. I'm standing in front of GHS Limbe, which happens to be the lone polling station for these elections. Elections started as early as 8 a.m. in the morning with the presence of Elecam officials, polling agents, observers, electorates, and the various stakeholders for these elections. Behind me, the polling stations were divided into two, one for the Regional House of Chiefs and the other for the Regional House of Councillors. The electorates, which happens to be councillors and chiefs, upon arrival at this polling station, were given the opportunity to identify their names on the electoral list of Elecam. Upon doing that, they were permitted to get access to the polling stations. There, they were given the ballot papers to vote. Hi Leonard, going by Elecam statistics, we have 215 councillors who were registered for these elections to take part for the elections for the regional councillors. Initially, we have 221 councillors who were voted during the February 9, 2020 municipal elections. We have 6 of them who are not present for this election, an indication that maybe some of them might have dropped out as councillors of the CPDM, or some must have passed on to eternity. More so, Leonard, 108 traditional rulers constitute the electorate to take part to vote for the pioneer candidates for the House of Chiefs for Fako division. It is also important for you to note that the CPDM is the lone political party taking part for these elections for the pioneer candidates for the Regional House of Chiefs and the Regional Council for Fako division. Leonard, we catch our breath and we get reactions from some of the candidates for the Regional House of Chiefs to find out how they feel after voting.
A choice. As they said yesterday, that they are happy because the representation is their choice. It wasn't impossible. That's right. All of them. So you see, all parents left their policies, come down, and that's the same thing happened in Limbe last 2 months when they made their choices of their country. That's what it was massive.
All I can say is that things, hopefully things will be a lot better after this regional election, because we are going to intervene in all spheres of life in Cameroon. In the ministries, the big schools, the police colleges, and so on. And we have to go, like the chiefs of Fako will have to go to Mutengen and see how many Southwesterners are there, which is a case for concern for all of us. If you go to some of these schools, Southwesterners, there are very few. So people who are in authority should not be tired to see us, because that will be our role.
Leonard, we also had the Minister of Secondary Education, Professor Pauline Nalova, who happens to be the chairperson of the campaign team for the regional elections for Fako division, who was present at the polling station to evaluate the participation of the electorate who took part in these elections.
This is a great election. You know, Fako is making a point. The region, the division, all of us, we have spoken. They should take it. We went into an election with a unique position that we had no opposition. We have come out flying. This is a basket of flowers that we are sending to the head of state. It's Fako love going to the head of state, whom we love. What we are telling them is that we have decided whom we want to go with, whom we want to work with, and they should let us do so. We want development with peace.
The governor of the Southwest region, alongside the senior divisional officer for Fako and other top administrative brass in Limbe, were also present at the polling station to ensure that the elections are hitch-free. All in all, Leonard, the elections for the regional council, with Limbe being the headquarters and the lone polling station for these elections, could be described as calm, serene, and peaceful, pitch-free, as no incident was recorded. That is what we gathered for you for the updates on elections brief for the regional house in Fako division.
Thank you very much, Kuma Honore. We also are going to queue up with Boya to find out what took place or how Boya looks like yesterday with Crise Ekowe.
This is Boya, and you're welcome to Boya today, the 6th of December, which has been marked as the day for regional elections across the national territory. In the early hours of the day, I must tell you, this part of Boya was actually deserted as most shops were closed. Even at this time, which is already afternoon, shops are still closed apart from some few taxis that are in circulation, equally the early hours of the day. There were one shot in some areas like my 16, and equally some cars that were burnt at the level of the GCE board. That was the atmosphere this here in Boya. Signing out from Anita Prime, I am Crise Ekowe.
Okay, Crise, thank you very much for the brief and very succinct presentation out there. Now, we are going to continue. I don't know. Let us just end with Bangeme. Let's get a reaction after the elections in Bangem yesterday.
Assistant branch manager for Kupe-Manugua, and we just noticed that you scrupulously respected not only the COVID-19 barrier measures, but you were also very much involved in the organization, in fact the proper organization of the electorate here. So what are your impressions after having watched this exercise move on in your area of jurisdiction?
Like you just said it all. That my impression, that is the reason why. My impressions are supposed to be really good. That is the reason why I am involved in the organization. And that's one thing about ELECAM. The ELECAM has trained us so well. We've got about 3-4 seminars only on these elections. That's why you find it going so well, so smoothly. We don't have any hitches anywhere. And to be very honest, I'm even surprised the way the chiefs are voting. They have come in their numbers. You can see for yourselves. You can see for yourselves. There are a lot of. In fact, I am so happy. I'm so happy. I didn't expect this, but I'm so happy.
Would you say the turnout is right? The turnout is quite impressive.
Yes, it is. I have about 197 voters. And before yesterday, that's the number. Okay. The number I have in Kupe-Manugua is 197 voters. That is the traditional rulers and the councillors. And by yesterday, they have withdrawn up to about 70% of their cards. If you can see on the table, it's just a few cards remaining. So that tells you how the turnout should look like.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure, and we wish you the best. We just want to find out his impression and how they can describe the ambience that is currently reigning here at the Women Empowerment Center in Istanbul. Michael, you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Larry, for the opportunity given me. I think, as you can see for yourself, the ambience is one of high, I would say, ecstasy, excitement, joy. That long-awaited day has finally come. When the coronation of our constitutional dispositions of putting in place the regional councils, regional assembly for Southwest and Northwest, and the whole country is taking its shape, is being concretized today. The councillors, as far as the party is concerned, are all there to vote with enthusiasm. The chiefs, they have come out too in their number, the chiefs of Kupe-Manugua. It's a wonderful experience, and I think this is just to
demonstrate the attachment these people, that is the chiefs and the militants of the CPDM, are having on the institutions of the Republic, so well and so powerfully incarnated by His Excellency President Paul Biya, President of the Republic and Head of State, National President of the CPDM. I think my impressions are that of satisfaction that we finally have come to see this day, a day that has been long awaited for the nation, and is definitely going to pave way for many good things to happen for Cameroon. It is definitely going to usher in a new beginning for this nation, and things will no longer be the same. We want to believe that with the regions now put in place, the situation in the Northwest and Southwest is definitely going to change positively, because this is what the people have been clamoring for, to see that they have the possibility to handle at their own level issues of immediate interest. I think it's a wonderful happening. We thank God for this, and we pray that Cameroon will continue to be a peaceful, united, and indivisible one Cameroon that our forefathers legated to us. This is a wonderful moment for us. We are grateful. We thank God, and we pray that God Almighty.
Okay, that is what we had for Kupe Manenguba. We have many more, but because of time, we may just have to continue the program this evening. Thank you, Larry Esong, for the videos from Kupe Manenguba. Now, we have to look at participation. When you go through what those who took part in it, they are saying consistently that after taking part in these elections, something definitely is going to change. Is that the impression you have?
Mr. Leo, something will always change, but the question is, will it be changing for the population of the Northwest and Southwest? Because something will change for him who is talking as an individual. He's occupying a post, and that will already change his status in the society. So something has changed. But what about the people who are out there whom they are supposed to be representing? Are they actually going to change for them? You see, the way things are managed in Cameroon actually makes one at times to get to ask questions. When you go back right from 2011, when the senatorial elections took place, till this very day we are talking about, when they were instituting that particular upper house of assembly, we were made to know that, wow, things are changing. But after the election, we have not heard anything from the senators. Now they are electing regional councillors. The question is, after the election of regional councillors, what is going to change for the people of Cameroon, and particularly for the people of the Northwest and the Southwest? I want to say nothing really will change, because it is the same people whom we are putting in those positions. These are men. I'm looking since I've been watching, I've been seeing the same faces that I've known coming up, which implies that in relation to my perspective, the other youths, the young people that are actually in these areas do not count, and it implies they have nothing to give. And if that is the case, if we are supposed to be led by the same people year after year, you shouldn't expect any change, because they will do the same thing they have been doing for years. That is just like using the word, saying that somebody is doing the same thing every day and expecting to have another result. And if you might want to know the definition of that, that's madness. So in relation to my perspective, there's a little bit of madness that's being played in Cameroon, which we are doing the same thing every day, expecting a different result. So I would not want to say that
what did you expect to see yesterday?
From my mindset, I was expecting that maybe some young men with wits will be selected and placed and elected.
Is that what you expected yesterday?
I expected that.
Yesterday?
Not only yesterday.
When
before
Elecam already made public the name?
That's why I'm saying that from my expectation of, if you want to put it off yesterday was, I actually wouldn't tell you that I had an expectation because I just knew it's the same thing. I didn't expect any result. I didn't expect any change. I just know it's the same people. So
does the Constitution bar these persons from going for elections?
The Constitution will not bar anybody from being elected. But the question is, are we going to be electing people because we want to elect or want change? The question should be in relation to change, not the people that they are electing.
You are blaming these old people because La Voix du Centre, one of the tablets says le bal des caïques et des vieillards. Who do we blame here? Is it not the youths who have refused to take up the challenge? This is a senior barrister here. He is a president of the national. He's a national president of a party, and if the young people believe that they should put him in power massively, they should vote. They should go and register 10 million of them. Even if they were to steal the votes, they will make him president. Cabral Libi is a young man. Kawala is a dynamic. Yes. Is it? Why do we blame when we decide to send the same persons and end up crying?
Mr. Liu, I think that
you will not be able to answer the question.
No, let him answer.
Mr. Liu, I think that
no.
Prof has said something very pertinent. The issue is, we are living. We have a kind of a political strategy in Cameroon, so much such that many a time before elections are run, we already know those who are going to win. Many a time, so many times before those who go in for elections, we know this person comes out successful, and we should know that. Far from the ruling CPDM, other political parties, each political party has its party's discipline. It means that there is a divisional head, a subdivisional head, a section president for women, for men, youth president, and things like that. And all these things are cooked, first of all, at the base before they are pushed to the top. So much such that for you, for your name to successfully go and reach the top, I don't know if it's the game that is played, but you needed to have convinced, especially those big guns within your own area, that you're fit. I'm saying so because, Mr. Liu, I'll give a very simple. When we look at the regional elections that took place in the Northwest and the Southwest region, it is but normal that the CPDM takes it 100% because it went unchallenged. But now, we are talking about an election that came after.
No, the issue is that those that go through, they go through investiture, through the Central Committee. Yes, but my question stands that now, if you think the CPDM will not give opportunity for young, dynamic persons, why would 10 million youths in Cameroon not rally behind him so that in their dispensation they don't go through what we are decrying now?
Mr. Leo, there is something. We should be able to say that politics in Cameroon is not what you and I are saying. Politics in Cameroon, I've been able to, since I started voting, far from voting, since I've been covering elections, the way votes are done in Cameroon, even if we rely 20 million of us and say we want Leo, if the power in place doesn't want you, it's a failed agenda.
No, why not just let us register 10 million young people?
Mr. Leo, Cabral Libi registered, he started with 11 million Cameroonians, 11 million inscrits. I'm coming, please, sir. He said even if he registered 5 million, I know he wants to speak as a population, as a politician. Even if he registered just 5 million or just 2 million, but his target was 11 million. When Cabral Libi came for his campaign here at Cité Sikame Douala in 2018, I was there. The population that turned out, if that population at least had voters card, and let us say that if he had just 10 people were there and just 3 voted, it was enough to send him somewhere. But when the regional or when the presidential elections came out, because by then he did not have the PCR and he was running under Mukulu Vondo's party Univer. Now, but when he went under Professor Mukulu Vondo's party Univer, what position did Cabral Libi take?
Now, you are still not answering my question. I'm saying that in 2011 presidential elections, the number of persons that voted was less than 3 million Cameroonians. No, eligible voters, something like that. 2018, less than 2 million voted the president.
What I'm saying, simple, Mr. Leo. The answer is not the.
No, it's not you now.
Yeah, it's not me, but the answer is simple. It's voters' apathy. Cameroonians believe that you cannot go through the ballot box and change the pass.
Everybody says you should continue and explain. No, so better.
Please, so I should not.
No, my question is, if in 2011 we had this number of registered voters and those who effectively took part in elections, 2018 we have similar numbers, and we think that through the CPDM, persons like you are not given opportunity. Why can 12 million young Cameroonians not register and go for some other person?
Thank you, Mr. Leo, for finally giving me the floor.
No, you are going to talk now for long, eh?
Right. You see, there's something which we are losing sight of. All those elections you are citing were elections that were all boycotted. They were all boycotted by political parties. So the results you are announcing are results of the people who decide to participate in boycotted elections. So look, like in the
are you saying 2018 was boycotted by MRC because they took part in?
Not everybody participated in 2018.
Okay.
But the MRC was there.
Not everybody participated. It was boycotted, and you don't go measuring.
The MRC did not go for presidential elections.
Have we refused?
What do you mean by boycotted elections?
Okay. Now there is a big problem with what we are just seeing here. Professor Macantoni said the lockdowns were not necessary. I think we should rather look at this thing with a political eye. If we have people who are standing up as representatives of a population, and on that day when the people are voting themselves, their friends, and they are being voted into office, the population is experiencing ghost town and lockdown. What message do we read from that? Do we read the message that the people are in harmony with the population, or the people have been vomited by the population?
Who is calling for the ghost town?
Thank you. You see, the separatists say they are not part of the elections, and they call for a lockdown, and we see effective lockdown. And somebody said here that the voters must have been ferried before that day to the areas where they are going to vote. Do they represent the population?
Sincerely speaking, let me ask this question.
Are they voting as representatives of that population?
Let me ask you this question. That people did not come out for that day. Are you not the one who said on the days of elections people don't come out?
Whoever said the town should be ghosted. Before that day, we all saw the lockdowns for 3 days. So we cannot downplay it by saying that the lockdown that day was because of electoral law, which we know those people don't have any respect for.
So the lockdown, okay.
They have no respect for electoral law. They say it doesn't bind them. They said the election don't concern them. You see, so the message here is that the government should try to look at this aspect of legitimacy, because when you organize an election and the population that is supposed to be participating to send representatives, even grand councillors, to go vote, is staging a lockdown. That is a message which those people here are supposed to
read. Who called for the lockdown, Senior
That's what I'm saying.
They
are not the ones who call. It is the separatists who call for lockdown. So the government in Yaoundé should look carefully, because what I am saying ties with what Joel was saying here. You look at those who are running. Also, rather, is Professor Mark who said the people who are running is the same old faces. And we know, you can remember during the council election how they were elected. Some from Yaoundé, their names were just put in lists up there. The list never came from the base. That explains your question. Why is it that the youth are not being sent in front?
But you should mobilize now and register 10 million youth to.
If you organize elections that will be free and fair, you can expect me to go down and mobilize you. But if the elections are not,
Senior Barrister, you were supposed to run for this election.
If they are
you
not,
also were supposed to run for all the.
I am answering your question. I am saying that If the elections are free and fair and everybody participates, you can raise the argument. Now, these particular elections have a problem. When the decentralization code was being put in place, the electoral code was already there. And the provisions as to special status inside that law on decentralization are not inside the electoral code. Those electoral provisions are not inside the electoral code. So the government had to get the parliament to amend the electoral code to accommodate the House of Chiefs, which they never did. So we are going to have a situation here where people are being voted into office, whereas there's no law giving them a right to participate as voters. We are going to have that situation. Because if you say it is chiefs all over the country, chiefs were the ones voting their peers into House of Chiefs. Let me remind you that in the other 8 regions, chiefs are also being voted they also have their own provision for chiefs. So chiefs all over Cameroon are supposed to vote. I don't think that is the law, sir. So we shall be seeing whether Constitutional Council will play its role properly by looking at the law and telling people that you have made people vote, whereas you're not supposed to vote.
Senior Barrister, did you get the information or did you see videos of the car of the priest that was shot at yesterday?
Oh, yes, I did.
Okay, it's because they called for the lockdown and he disrespected the
I
lockdown.
don't know who shot him. I don't know. I saw the video. I don't know how he was shot because they say he was shot by a stray bullet. I don't know where the bullet came from. I don't know whether it was separatists.
It was separatists now.
But I saw other videos where they said separatists shot down people who came from voting. Therefore, the priest, I don't know who shot him.
And that of the church?
What? We saw the signature now. The signature where they says some people went to disrupt church service. We saw the signature.
Some people, you don't know them.
We saw the signature. No, please, let me finish. You see, there was something which you asked him some question concerning the fund of Nso, and I've been waiting patiently to chip in something. You see, I hope that the government is going to provide security for this man because he has stuck out his head for the government. Going by past experience, when Ni John was picked up the first time, he came and said something. He was picked the second time, you see, and this time around they even came again to his house to come and attack, even when he was abroad. So I fear that this man, after what happened to him, taking the position he's taking now, he really needs serious security, because I don't want to lose the fund. He is important to the population. The government should not abandon him. Let them make sure that the fund of Nso has proper security. They should not only come there for election. Please put adequate security around the fund of Nso, because knowing these guys for who they are vindictive and they will not want to be seen as being the victims of a fund who was given warning and never wanted to hit.
The guys who called for the lockdown?
The guys who picked up the fund now, Master. They gave him a message to go and give to Yaoundé. Now he comes. You see what he was saying.
Yeah, but why would you send the fund to Yaoundé?
I never sent him.
Okay. Now after the elections yesterday, Professor Mark Anthony, we have listened to some persons like Fcfa Marshal and a host of others threatening those who took part in the elections, saying that they are supposed to be aware that they will follow consequences. Is this also part of democracy? Or because you say lockdown was issued and people have to respect. What if people say we are not part of it?
You see, Mr. Leo, I'll come back to point this position that a lot of the same persons who are claiming that we want to build an Anglo-Saxon community and society and are fighting for the sake of that are actually becoming more of dictators and acting more than the government in Yaoundé, where people do not have opinions and don't have the capacity to think for themselves anymore. They are actually dictated upon. They are told what to do. If you go against what they have been told you to do, you are either kidnapped or you are shot dead, or you are, you know what is happening with most of these persons. So I just want to think that it is not the best way to go about things, and I believe that there is a better way to handle situations like that. And if you want a people, you are actually fighting for a people, you must make them to love you. You don't make them to hate you. When a people turn against you, whom you think you are fighting for, then you have to lose everything. I will say this, and I will say it plainly. When you go back to 2017, I think I took part in that march in 2017, September 22. I actually took part in the march because I believed in the cause. At that time, I believed that these people were for something. But when it came to the point where arms were picked up, people were being killed, I said this thing is getting out of order. And worst of it was Odeshi, as they used to call it, came into play. I said this thing has gone out of the hands of God. And so in relation to my mindset, if we have to win, it is the people. You win along with the people, not against the people. And so as long as the people of the Northwest and Southwest are no more with these guys, they should not be thinking they are winning. What they should be doing is look for a way to get back to their people.
The senior barrister thinks that they have control over.
Barrister has right to his opinion. Yes, barrister has right to his opinion. The people of the Northwest and Southwest are living in fear, not respecting what they are doing. I'll be sincere. I will not change what I'm saying. Most of these people are practically afraid, because if you disobey, you might either be shot or you'll be kidnapped or you'll be killed. Okay, already they have already said those who went to vote, they don't count their opinion anymore. You are going to face the consequences. That is what I'm simply saying. Are you sure there is no other way out? There is a way. Must we always use the threats? That's worse than even what the public government is doing.
Okay.
So to me, Mr. Leo, I will say I think there is a better way to deal with things than what they are doing right now. The threat should stop.
Yeah, your phone took part in the elections. The phone on Saw took part, and a host of others. The phone of whom I saw him in the interview. He took part, and the chiefs in the Southwest, most of them took part. Should they be threatened to be killed because of their opinions?
Mr. Leo, before now, all the chiefs who even went in for elections already knew their fate. A majority had received threats already that if you go for these elections, this is what awaits you. And a majority who did already knew what was awaiting them. Because there's something we must say here, and we should be honest about it, that, Mr. Leo, that it is very true that for this, I called somebody yesterday when the elections was going on, actually March 16, and this is what the person told me. Where are you? Did you go to church? It was a Sunday. He said, no, we are in Ghost Town. That the elections are taking place in Limbe. Now, those who called for a Ghost Town tomorrow, actually, they have the objective, just like Senior Barrister was saying. The objective is to send a message to somebody somewhere, especially the regime in Yaoundé, that, okay, we still have control over those in the Northwest and the Southwest. We should not forget that when the crisis started some time ago, I remember Tassan Weaver at one time said, when schools were to resume, in 2016, he said, when Monday
comes... Are you answering my question?
I'm answering your question, Mr. Liu, I'm answering your question. Okay. Your question is, should they be threatened, or this one among the chiefs? I am saying that all the chiefs, you said something that my phone voted. Who's my uncle? He knows everything. I talk with him minute by minute. Every phone who voted in the Northwest and the Southwest had before now received a threat message. But those who took the courage to go and vote know on what they are counting. Because there's something I've said here, that the fund of Nso and the other funds, I doubt if they are more courageous and more daring than the former Mr. Joe voted. Because I know what he does. I'm not selling him. I know him.
My question is, I'm not asking about the justification. I'm saying that is it right that people go to vote and they are threatened? Or yes, yes, they are threatened to be killed. Is it right?
Constitutional, or let's say maybe legally, I'm not a legal mind, there's a legal mind here. Legally, it's not correct because going to vote is a civic responsibility. It means that once you're a Cameroonian, you have the right to vote. You should vote. But at one time, when a group of persons are fighting a certain cause, and they look at you as a traditional ruler, and that you're supposed to protect their ideologies, and they see you, you mustn't. This is what I'm saying, Papa. My ideas are very clean and clear. I'm saying this, that every person have what we call a civic responsibility. When they were teaching some of us civics and ethics in the university, they told us, as a citizen, you must vote.
Okay.
It's a civic responsibility.
Let me take.
But the funds who voted before now had received calls. And even till date.
Is it right or wrong?
I am saying that it is wrong because it is their civic responsibility to exercise their right to vote.
Good evening, Mr. Liu. Great job. However, try to strike a balance and do not get into debate journalism. There is no democracy during restoration and secession. Democracy will only hold when the separatists must have realized their dreams. Okay, we must be free. Okay, this one says, good evening, Mr. Leo. This election is the final stage of assimilation of Anglophones because after this election, after chiefs will be elected, even transfer from one village to the other by the government will have nothing to do about it. Amos is writing from Limbe. Good evening, Mr. Liu. From every indication, senior barrister and Joel, no, they have a right to their opinion too. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I appreciate Prof for being objective. Why is that Mr. Joel always dodging your question? Is it that he is hiding something? Frank is writing from Bamenda. Good evening, Mr. Liu. And to all the panelists in the studio, Mr. Leonard, when it comes to taxes and voting, that's when the government will preach you are right to you all. The nation, a good leader doesn't create separation. Rather, a good leader brings people together. Raymond is writing from United Arab Emirates. Good evening to you. Tell Prince Joel and Barrister that the majority of the people are just afraid they are not, they don't listen to the guys abroad. Okay. Katiri from Greek Cyprus says, Mr. Leo, CPDM should stop preaching about change when they are the enemies of change. Okay. This one says, good evening. Tell Joel to go and join the Ambas in the bush. Good evening, Mr. Liu. It got mass in the far north Cameroon. I want to comment on what somebody has just written, that Mr. Gerard should go the other subdivisions and should be fulfilling. I want to say that if every Anglophone was having conscience, they will have to think twice that wine Kamer is peace, but the rest are suffering. It is not a medicine to have peace. Mr. Gerard is going to feel, and that's whether if any who talk about the Anglophone problem have ever gone to these zones and really see what is happening. Instead of trying now to look for peace, we are trying to condemn what others are trying to do to bring. Please stop the call to bring the peace. Prince Mukake was my sanitation prefect in school. Tell him to check well. Okay, Prince, you're a sanitation prefect?
Sure.
Okay. If the government provides security for the Fononso, then what will be the work of the Chinda? She Silas is writing from Sancho. Good evening to you. Good evening to you. Please, I see two separatists in the forum. Nobody is a separatist here, please. Good evening to you. Don't even tell where you are writing and what your name is. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm so happy with the agitations you people are giving. I must say the President Paul Biya wants to gain more majority. Okay. Any person who writes any insulting message, I may not read it. Please respect those who are in the studio here. Good evening, Mr. Liu and the panel. Mr. Liu, Prince is talking with water in his mouth today. Okay, that's Sock Collins is writing from Tombell. Good evening, Mr. Liu and others in the studio. This message is say all. For chief, that is the same for chief to 5,000. A message is not clear. Madam Ken Honorine, your message is not clear. Bro J writing from Jakiri. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and to all in the studio. This regional elections is useless and will have no positive impact. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu, and to the co-panelists. I love the way the panelists are analyzing the topic. You people should keep it up. Esther is writing from Yaoundé. Ngupor Ngong from Yaoundé. From Kumba says, unfortunately for us, okay, low voltage. Mr. Liu, as Barrister Ashu said, is the minister member of Elekam. Okay, stop, please, stop the calls. You make it difficult for me to read. The message is good evening. Mr. Liu, courage for what you guys are doing. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Tell those people that the majority of people don't respect Ghost Town because they fear, because they want it. It's out of fear, like Apostle. There's no Apostle here. It's Professor. How did the governor of the Northwest move to Nkambe and Womb the same day? Kudos to the crew members. What is the essence of the elections that took place yesterday? Okay. Fondo is writing from Bafut. He went through a helicopter. He was in Nkambe and in Womb. We are not respecting ghost towns and lockdown. We respect fear. Charlie is writing from Bali. Okay. Good evening to you, Charlie. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Going for any elections in Cameroon is legitimizing the regime in power. Okay, Efokwa Wilson is writing from Boya. Mr. Liu, good evening. Do you see fund that was supported by 2 men after voting, and how can that describe the actions? Valentine is writing from Bamende. He's a chief in the Far North region. Unfortunately, he died after that.
Casting his vote.
Yes, Mr. Liu, good evening. It's Kenny Terence from Bamenda. I love the program. Thank you very much. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Please tell them that we are not respecting Ghost Town because we love it, which is out of fear. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Babila writing from Lime. Why should people vote when their opinions don't count by the Yaoundé regime? Good evening to you, Babila. This one says, please, we are tired. Okay. Good evening to you in the studio. My name is Martin from Nyasoso. The regional elections was a success all over the national territory. And many of you are watching us from Nyasoso. Good evening to you. Ernest Mbachu and your crew who should be watching us, and the commandant who is it Commandant Fritz? Good evening to you. Now, elections took place. I don't know whether you accept that it was effective, but it took place after here, what next?
Well, the institutions are going to be put in place. So what next? We are going to see how, what content the government is going to give to its special status. Because when we look at the law and we say the content is an empty thing, because it is, I mean, a house that can be consulted on 2 issues: education, their house, and education. Well, let us see whether the government is going to modify the law by ministerial circulars or what. I don't know. They say we should wait for the application. Let them. Well, they have voted. They should put the thing in place now. Let us see the magic they are going to make.
Okay.
By transforming a senate into a municipal assembly. We will see how that is possible.
Good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm back. This is my very good friend. Is it Mohammed writing from Yaoundé? Muhammadu. He says, good evening, Mr. Liu. I'm back. I'm afraid that the House of Chiefs may be just like the House of Senate. Thank you all. Keep it up. Muhammadu, we are going to be looking at this in greater details tomorrow. Good evening to the studio there. It's nothing like elections in Cameroon. Joe Boy is writing from Limbe. What are your expectations after the elections of yesterday?
Leo, I will still repeat my words. I have no expectation from the people that had been chosen to sit in that regional house, because like Barrister actually mentioned it, the special status that we are talking about is an empty cocoon, and we have not seen anything inside. It is often said that it is not good to buy a chicken that is in the bag, but we already bought one. Now we need to discover what is inside the bag. Is it really the chicken or a bird? So we need to find out. And from my understanding, these persons would do nothing. I said nothing to help Cameroonians. It is just a show, another way to give positions to persons, to permit them to eat taxpayers' money and end up doing nothing. I will not say it with water in my mouth, because I know that for a long period of time we have been seeing this gymnastic moving. Let's say these Bafia dancers, you always say it, where we dance forward and we dance backward. We dance forward and we dance backward. Nothing is progressing.
Okay.
And Leo, I will tell you that a house that will be there just to be consulted upon, in fact, has no power. They can only give suggestions, which can either be accepted or rejected and cannot be enforced. It's a useless house. Useless bulldog.
Under certain circumstances, the President of the Republic can dissolve the houses. And what do we? Yes, it's possible.
It's true. It's
Yes,
the Constitution.
it is possible.
Yeah.
It is what
According to the law, yes. So, what are your expectations? Your phone is going to do us proud, I'm sure.
It's but true. It's but true that many feel that Prince is speaking from the other side of the corner. But I just feel that the elections have taken place already, because what we have today is a follow-up of what took place on the 9th of February 2020, and the objective, as per those who organize it, is to see that the crisis come to an end. And the phone of Mr. J is one of the phones who are going to be part of the House of Chiefs. He has so much expectation, because I remember writing somewhere and somebody said he should work for the nation, not for the village and not for a community. So
not for his family.
Not for his family.
It's your uncle. Very soon now he will take you there, come and be sexy here.
But it's been normal. It's been normal. But we feel that at the end of the day, there are a lot of expectations. Regional elections are supposed to quench the tension in the northwest and the southwest region. But the issue is, let us just wait and see how far it can go.
Cannot quench anything.
Okay, but we must understand that the regional putting in place of the regional council is also the last institution as prescribed in the 1996 constitution. So yeah, so it's not just there for the Anglophone crisis. Let me take a few messages. Good evening, Mr. Liu. There is no need for this debate because our opinions doesn't count. At times I wonder if our government is made up of Cameroon. Joel is writing from Suza. There is need, Joel, if you fall 77 times, you have to get up and continue walking, please. Good evening, Mr. Liu. I don't see need for any elections in Cameroon. There is no difference. Let the president go ahead, do his appointments, okay? Good evening to you, Mr. Liu. There is nothing like elections in Cameroon, so there is no expectations, okay? Oops, the messages just... Good evening, Mr. Liu. Prof is right. They will not do anything. We love your show. Dieudonné is writing from Douala. Am I? Good evening, Mr. Kumlio. More grace to you. I love your program. Emanuela, I'm glad to read from you. Extend my greetings to the entire family. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. If we are afraid of Amber, what about crackdown and seal of shops by the government authorities? Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Jude from Kumbu. Tell those who are calling the name of the fund on sort to stop. Is he the only fund that went for votes? Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. We respect lockdown because we are tired of the marriage. Okay. Brainwash. Evans is writing from Abamenda. Good evening, Mr. Liu. Please ask the so-called Amber what they really want from Anglophones. D is writing from Kumbu. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Liu. My name is Emmanuel from Douala. Why are they doing elections only in specific places? For I will say there is no election. Thanks for understanding. Stay blessed. Okay, elections took place in the divisional headquarters in Cameroon. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Most of those chiefs went to vote because they thought the government had some huge sum of money for them. Thank God they made their shock 5,000. Okay. Roland is writing from Douala. Hello, Mr. Leo. It's Jared from Kumba. Truly, elections are not to go on in hidings, but freely and openly. Thank you. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Young Cameroonians, let the youth of Cameroon be ready to take over the state of Cameroon come the next presidential elections by getting involved. Get registered, my youth. CPDM and President Biya cannot solve our problems. MC Legend Kotem is writing from Bamenda. Good evening to you, Kotem. Good evening, Mr. Leo. I love the program. Drusilia is writing from Limbe. Good evening, Mr. Leo. It is Rose writing from Boya. He says, I'm not okay. Okay, Rose, you are not okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo. The House of Chiefs will simply be where chiefs will go and eat their achu and drink their mbo. Nothing will come from there. Vita is writing from Bamenda. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Please tell those people who support Amber. Okay. Good evening, Mr. Leo. Ngala is writing from Ndu. Glad to read from Ndu. Good evening, Mr. Leo. What do we mean by regional elections? Because I don't understand. We've been arguing for this. Thank you. Shufai Stephen is writing from Yaoundé. The messages are just so many. Shufai, we are going to get to the constitution and the documents that define these elections. We are talking about the elections that are ongoing, especially concerning the decentralization process. Unfortunately, we will have to end at this juncture. Special greetings to you, Maros, who always follows the program from Kumba, and to you, Mo, who should be watching us from Yaoundé, and every other person who is watching the program across the nation and out of Cameroon. Tomorrow, we are going to be looking at the regional elections have taken place. What next, especially with focus on understanding how the House of Chiefs are going to be functioning in the Northwest and the Southwest region in this whole dispensation. We want to say we are glad to be part of the program this evening, Professor Mark Anthony.
Thank you very much, Mr. Leo. It's always my pleasure being part of this platform and to play my part in nation building. Okay, equally to you. The man whose uncle just got a ticket into the House of Chiefs for the Northwest.
It's a privilege being on board, Mr. Leo. Special congratulations to Fon Thomas Kimbuse, Fuma, who is one of those who is going to represent the people so far as the House of Chiefs is concerned. A special good evening to those who watch in Misaji, everybody who comes from that area. And a special good evening to those who watch in the Southwest region. Okay, good evening and thank you to you for coming, Senior Barrister.
Thank you, Mr. Leo. Well, the elections have come and gone. I think the people who think that the special status is going to bring us manna from heaven, this is the time we shall discover the taste of the pudding.
Okay, thank you to everybody who helped in producing this program. Desmond Eli and Christian Bertrand. Thank you very much, Tabi, Tambe Brian. Stay blessed. Bye-bye.